What's crack-a-lackin' YouTube? I'm gonna make this video right quick and then go back to bed. So I was dreaming of a girl that I have a crush on. I'm not gonna say which one it is. You guys don't even know her, but she's close to my age. And in the particular dream, we weren't doing anything, just picture of her just a picture of her popped up into my brain when I was sleeping, and then I felt myself drooling in my sleep. Isn't it weird when we have dreams about people like that? You often have to wonder, is the person you're dreaming about, are they dreaming about you too? One of those bigger scientific questions, I suppose. And the only reason I get frustrated with having a crush on a girl anymore is because every time I've crushed on a girl in the past, the answer has always been no. You get told no by every chick you like, it gets old really quickly. Yet, despite being told no by every chick I like, I still talk to girls. That's the thing of it. Even though my trolls are dickheads who need to get a life. Oh, like the other day when I was walking back from my buddy's house after hearing that standoff go off outside, it settled down, I got home safely. But on the walk home, some asshole drove by in their truck and shouted, "King Cobra needs some pussy." So I shouted back, "How about your of-age mom, or your of-age daughter, or your of-age sister? I bet you I do it better than you do, buddy." And of course he didn't say shit, he just kept on driving. You know, when I stopped and thought about it, and I said, you know what? I've dealt with bigger assholes on YouTube. So that's when I made my night video that I made, and then I came home after that incident, made that night video, woke up the next day and did the beer review the next day. And the reason why I don't disclose names of girls that I have a crush on anymore is just because my trolls find out who she is and they fuck with her, and it ruins my chances. It's pretty sad. Because my trolls literally have no life. If I mention any girls that I like on my YouTube channel, they harass them and fuck with them because, like I said, my trolls have no life. Now, despite trolls fucking with all the chicks that I like, despite the fact that some of the trolls are, they do that shit, and despite the fact I get told no by every chick I like, I still talk to girls. It's the truth. I'm not gonna let getting told no by every chick I like or my asshole trolls stop me from enjoying some of-age companionship. Even if it's something as simple as a hello, a conversation even, you know. Tell you what, I don't like kids, but I dislike the sickos who touch them even more. Enough said on that issue. kids are assholes, but they're also innocent to this crazy fucked up world we live in. Now, I've overheard a kid tell me that you need to get laid, and I'm like, that's pretty bad when you got kids saying that shit to you. So I ignore it because that's a little kid talking shit. They hear the adults saying it, so they just repeat whatever, you know. If it was an adult my own age telling me you need to get laid, my usual response is, well, can I have your mom's number? It seems how it's such a need. But sometimes when little kids talk shit, you gotta take it with a grain of salt, just because, you know, most of the time they do it because they want a reaction. If they say cuss words or are disrespectful to the adults, it gets a reaction, doesn't it? And they don't care if they get in trouble. They just want the attention. Little kids are like internet trolls in that aspect. They'll push your buttons to get a reaction. They think it's funny when you blow up. They don't care if it makes you mad. It's because internet bullies and kids are assholes. But nothing pisses off the internet trolls even more when they don't get their way. I tell you what, trolls are just like kids in that aspect. When they don't get their way, oh howdy does it piss them off. And that's just it. My trolls will see someone like me. I'm not afraid to be myself around women. I have the confidence in who I am as a person. And a lot of women pick up on that and they dig it. And the trolls get super jealous of that. They're like, despite being autistic, he's not afraid to be his wand making self. Knowing that some chicks are gonna find that shit super boring and some chicks are gonna think that's cool as shit. It depends on who you talk to. If I talk to a chick who's super into Harry Potter and she's at the bar having a drink, you know, and you mention that you're a real wand maker, that's all you gotta do, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're at the bar and you see a chick who's into Harry Potter, and I casually mention that I'm a wand maker, that's what I'm saying, YouTube. It's not going to do you any good to focus on chicks that reject you or snobby towards you. You want to focus on chicks who share similar interests or have similar issues with their personality. I'll tell you what, YouTube, if you find a chick who struggles with depression and you yourself also struggle with depression, talking to her about it's going to be a lot easier. That's just an example, but it's the truth. When it comes to gender relations, humans are underneath all this pressure to have the perfect body, and I'm sick of it. Men go through that crap too, just like women do, but to a lesser degree, because there is some pressure for men to be fit and to always have big muscles, you know, but that's about as far as it goes for the most part. Women are expected to look their prettiest all the time. It's just a negative standard that women have to put up with. So women get to feel self-conscious about their boob size, their hip size, and their ass size, and their arm size, and men get to feel self-conscious about our dick size, about our muscle size, do we got a six-pack or not, how much hair is on top of our head. And when you realize this, you're like, hey, you know what? Men and women aren't so different after all. Because to some degree, and this is my hypothesis, YouTube, to some degree, women and men struggle with the same issues. To some degree. It may be started by a different situation, but it produces the same results. For every double standard that you experience on the dating scene, it has an equally negative impact on the opposite person. For example, men are allowed to have sex with as much pussy they can get their of-age selves into, you know? If you're a consenting adult and what have you, a man's sexual conquest is celebrated in our society to such a point that if men are not getting laid or they choose to take a break from the dating scene, they get made fun of for it. Whereas women, if they have a bunch of sex, they get ridiculed for it. Women are slut-shamed for getting dick, and if women choose to take a break on the dating scene, nobody questions it. No one says, well, hey, you're a little lesbian, I bet. Nope, no one says shit like that. They just say, hey, you know what? You're sick of men and all their bullshit. She's just doing stuff to figure herself out. She's a strong and independent woman. Look at her go. She don't need a man in her life. Now, when we look at those double standards that I just mentioned, you know, this also leads to double standards like women are allowed to check out men and make the most obnoxious comments about our bodies. You know, if a chick checks us out, it says, nice ass. And if we, as guys, get offended by it, people look at us like we're gay. And it's like, excuse me, what if that dude has a wife and he feels uncomfortable with other chicks checking him out? But no one thinks about it like that. They're just like, what are you, gay? That chick just complimented you on your ass. And the dude could say something like, no, he has a girlfriend or a wife that he's madly in love with, and he doesn't appreciate being sexually harassed by their eyes. Now, imagine if a guy said some shit like that. He would be laughed at. The idea that sexual harassment exists in the eyes, you're not physically touching them, you're not groping on them, you're not making any sexual advances. You're simply acknowledging that that particular of-age member of the opposite sex is attractive to you, which is something that women do too. Think about it, ladies. When you got a guy that you're into and he sends you flowers, you get giddy as fuck, don't ya? You're like, oh my god, look who sent me flowers. But when you're creeped out by the guy, you're just looking at them like, oh my god, why did this creep send me flowers? Ew, can't they take a hint? I'm not into them. Now, ladies, you may hate it when you're younger, but trust me, you'll miss it when you're older. And admittedly, yes, sometimes guys are very obnoxious when it comes to catcalling. Guys are extremely obnoxious when it comes to catcalling. But holy crap, you get a slumber party full of college chicks, it's the weekend, and they're all having a couple drinks. Some of the shit they talk about, I bet you they're just as obnoxious as men. I bet you. When they're sitting there having a couple drinks with their close sorority gal pals, and they know they're not going to be judged by other women, they'll sit there and they'll gossip about boys and which one they like and what's their best feature about them they like and shit like that. Women do the same thing, dude. Trust and believe. Right? When guys are having a beer with each other, they're like, hey bro, would you fuck Pamela Anderson? Fuck yeah I would. She's a total babe. But that's the best part of it. If guys say shit like they'd fuck Kim Kardashian or what have you, they get called a pig for it. Right? But if chicks say they want to fuck Zac Efron, no one questions it or says, hey, you're being a bitch. Not every guy is born with muscles like that. Nope. They don't say it like that, and it's kind of a double standard, dude. I'm serious. If women and men started focusing on what made them similar versus what makes them different, gender communication would become so much easier. Yes, women and men communicate differently, but they have a lot of things that make them the same. Sometimes women will crave sex just as much as men, but they're a lot more shy and reserved about it because society tells women that if you desire sex of any kind, you're a slut. And I'm like, that's kind of bullshit, because if men are expected to get laid all the time, then, you know... I'm serious, YouTube. You know, that's just it. If a dude hasn't had pussy in like 3 or 4 years, hasn't found a girlfriend, all his guy buddies and people he knows will give him shit. You need to get laid, bro. You need some puss, bro. But if a chick hasn't found a dude in 2, 3, 4 months, you know what she gets told? Oh, don't worry, honey. You'll find Mr. Prince Charming someday. Just gotta keep your head up, you know. You'll find Mr. Right someday, don't worry. You won't be alone forever with your cats. It's almost like if men choose to be single, they get ridiculed for it. But if women choose to be single, it's because, oh, they're probably sick of men and all their bullshit. And like, you think men aren't sick of women's crap? I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's the truth. People are shitty to each other. And it's the truth. When women and men are shitty to each other on the goddamn dating scene, it makes women and men not trust each other. And then collectively you'll hear it from both sides. Oh, dating sucks. You know what the definition of frustrating is? When you see a girl you fancy complaining about the dating scene because none of the guys she gets with treat her right, and you know that deep down inside the bottom of your heart, you would treat that girl, that woman, like a goddess, and she won't give you a chance just because, you know. When that kind of thing happens, fellas, you can't blame her. It's frustrating, but you gotta think about things from her perspective. Stop making it about you and you wanting a girlfriend for just 1 second. And put yourself in your crush's shoes for a second. You're frustrated because she won't date you. She's frustrated because she can't find the right guy. See what I'm saying? Now, this kind of thing happens all the time, and those roles get flipped all the time. You might be a female with a guy friend going through the same shit, and you're sitting there, you know, your guy friend's had too many sluts and gold diggers for girlfriends, so he just doesn't trust women, and you're like his best female friend, and you want to be with him so bad. So you're sitting there asking all your female friends for advice, like, oh jeez, how do I let them know that I like them? But for guys it's different. I'll tell you why. Because in that situation, in that freaking situation, you just have to communicate your emotions and your wants, because he may not see you like that, sadly enough. But that's just it. If a woman just out of the blue decides to kiss you on the lips because she's crazy about you and she's sick of seeing you hurt, she's sick of seeing you go through shitty women, her actions might be seen as invasive, but other than that, it's not really questioned. But you flip the gender roles on that bitch. If a dude decides to just openly kiss a chick he really likes because he's sick and tired of seeing her be treated a certain way, and he wants her to know, hey, I dig you, I'll treat you 1,000 times better, she'll push away from him like, what the fuck, dude? We're not in that kind of relationship. I don't even know you like that. Get away. Yeah. You want my advice on trying to get the girls? Try to be their friend first, you know? Women are so sick and tired of men trying to get down their pants. The two biggest complaints I've heard women say about men: one, they're sick and tired of men trying to get down their pants all the time. And two, men are so lucky they can pee standing up. No, I made a video similar to this, but I deleted it because I got off topic a lot. It was ridiculous. But ask yourself this question. Every time someone brings up your crush's name, your face goes bright red. Every time you're around your crush, your heart skips a beat. And you're nervous to be around them. That's usually a tall tale sign. Oh. No. Women and men go through this crap all the time, YouTube. They'll have crushes on people close to their age that they're friends with, and, you know, and when you watch your friends, that you want, when you watch your friends that you want as a potential life mate going through the dating scene, and when you watch them get treated like shit, and it breaks your fucking heart because you know you could treat them better, and you're frustrated because they won't date you. Like I said, YouTube, okay, stop and ask yourself, how would it feel to be in your crush's shoes? Stop thinking about your own selfish needs for 1 second and focus on how would you feel if you're going through the experiences your crush is going through. Now, fellas, my final point for this video to help improve gender relations. How would you feel, fellas, if you thought you had a girlfriend, you thought you had great chemistry with her, and out of the blue you texted her to see if she wanted to go grab a beer? It wasn't about getting laid, you just wanted to spend time with the girl. Excuse me. It wasn't about getting laid, you just texting your girl to spend some time with her, right? And you figured things are kosher with the two of you. The other day she asked for $40. The other day she asked for $40 to help pay for that purse she just had to have, you know. And that's just it. Women will give sex to men just like men give money to women. It's a way that the genders show that they appreciate each other, and vice versa, like, you know what I'm saying? Money and sex are a way for adults to show each other that they want to make you happy. And people take advantage of it. And whenever the relationship doesn't work out, on the woman's half, she gets seen as, oh, you're just jumping from dick to dick. If the relationship doesn't work out and the guy does everything he can to make that girl happy and the relationship doesn't work out, he gets called a simp. Which kind of reminds me of that one song by Shinedown / Leonard Skinner. Do you really make a simple man reference? Yes, I did. But if you as a couple want to make each other happier, sex and money will only get you so far. I find that if couples, just like single people, they learn to be happy with what money they do have and what level of intimacy they can achieve versus couples who fight all the time because there's not enough sex or money in the relationship. And that's just it. If you can't be happy when you're single, and you can't be happy when you're poor or broke, you're not going to be happy when you're drowning in pussy. You're not going to be happy when you're drowning in millions. You know? It's the truth. I mean, look at Bob's Burgers. I know it's a cartoon, but Bob and Linda have 3 kids, and they're poor. In fact, they make jokes about how poor Bob and Linda are on the show all the time. And yet somehow they're happy with each other and they make it work. That's my point exactly. I know that's a cartoon, but that was the best way to explain my point, I guess, in some way. But guys and girls both talk about celebrities they bang. That's just how it is. Right? But if women catch guys talking about other chicks like that, oh by golly, us men are just pigs. We're terrible. Hairy, gross, smelly, disgusting animals. Which, if you want to smell like a ladies' man, you're tired of smelling like a gross animal. Guys, all is fair in love and war. So grab yourself a bar of tactical soap and gain the tactical advantage. Yeah, buddy. In fact, I myself just ordered 4 bars of it. I ordered 2 bars of Bond and 2 bars of Bond Musk. If they're out of the Bond Musk, they'll more than likely just send me 2 more bars of the Bond regular. That's fine. I also ordered some God of War pheromone beard oil for the righteous goatee and mustache that I'm growing. Yeah, buddy. Right around Christmas time last year, that's exactly what I did. I bought a shit ton of tactical soap and started handing out bars left and right. Which is especially cool because some of my relatives are older. They've been married for years. You know, and when you've been married for a long time, sometimes things become dull and routine and you just kind of lose that spark. You know what I'm saying? If you're still able to perform sexually and you're older and you have a wife, you've been married to her for 30, 40, 50, 60 plus years, you know what I'm saying? Tactical soap is like putting that spark back into your love life. You wash with it, your wife thinks it smells good. Tactical soap is guaranteed to make you smell irresistible to the ladies. Now the competitor, that freaking Sasquatch soap, is way more expensive, and the guy who advertises for it is a cocky douche. Listen, the soap you shower with is shit. You probably use the soap your mommy gave you. Like, bro, first of all, this soap I shower with is the shit. And second of all, I bought my mom and dad a bar of that for Christmas. When I was having Christmas dinner with my family, and I was giving my dad a bar, he asked my mom, which one do you think smells the greatest? You know? That's how you do it. Like, if you hear guys talk a certain way, that locker room talk, as they call it, yeah. Women talk like that too. They're just more shy and reserved about it because society tells women if you use locker room talk, that's not very ladylike. Well, if you're a lady, you burp and fart and cuss and you're perverted just like men, that's not very ladylike. Piss off. Hashtag women's lib. I'm sorry, but if your boyfriend gets intimidated when you fart or burp louder than he does, ladies, that's what fragile masculinity looks like. That means your man's a huge pussy. That's just it. Women are told, well, you have to go to the bathroom if you're gonna fart, because farting is gross, and you're not gross like those disgusting men. As a guy, I think I speak for a lot of men out there, but I'm tired of my gender being perceived as violent, gross, and otherwise. You know the age-old expression, well, if you can't beat them, might as well join them. Think about it, because you have a lot of people on the dating scene who are good for each other, but the assholes overshadow them. Both men and women struggle with dating. I've heard both sides complain about it. I've seen the shittiness of it on both sides. My psychotic Pentecostal birth mother. Oh. Too far, Josh. Too far. Like some of the stuff, a couple of my friends have kids of their own, and one of my friends has been out of a shitty relationship for a long time. Homeboy Scotty's still alive and kicking and doing well, but his ex-girlfriend Tina would hit Scotty while holding their kid, you know. So collectively speaking, I've seen women and men take advantage of each other, and it's fucking disgusting. You know, my final piece of advice, if you're crushing on someone and it doesn't work out, take time to grieve over the loss of something that could have been great, and then move on. I get told no by every chick I like. I have Asperger's, so struggling socially with women is, it's a thing. On top of that, my trolls are dicks. They like to, you know. I've seen a lot of cute of-age girls here in town. I tell you what, man, Casper's got some good-looking women. Whew, good gravy. Chick's so hot, you gotta double take for a second, like, damn! Well, just the other day, I saw a cute blonde walking her dog. And I was talking with my buddy Marshall Peterson on FaceTime. And I said it loud enough for the cute chick to hear me. I'm like, sorry Marshall, I got distracted. I saw a cute blonde walking her dog. And the chick heard me too, and she's like, that boosted my confidence. I'm like, hey, that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, YouTube? Sometimes women just need a compliment to make them feel pretty. That's just how it is. Women want to be sexually desired, even if they act like it's the grossest thing on the planet. And you want my example to this? Look at Billie Eilish. I was reading that article she did an interview for, and she talked about just wanting to be desired. Just because women want to be sexually desired, just like, or physically and emotionally desired, just like any other man would, doesn't mean you have to be a creep about it. That's the only difference, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's all about how you imply that you desire them. There's a big difference between, excuse me for saying this, miss, but you sure do look fine today. Hope you're having an awesome day. Give them a calm, casual smile. Versus, hey baby, you got some nice titties. That's just it. If men make obnoxious comments about a girl's boobs, they get called a pig. But if women make obnoxious comments about us men and our bodies, nobody checks the hypocrisy of it. Woohoo! Your morning red pill of the day, I tell you what. And men, if you want to bitch about how unfair that is, keep in mind that men are not burdened with childbirth. So if you want to bitch about how unfair it is, let me tell you something about being unfair. Like, fellas, could you imagine pushing a baby out of your dick hole or out of your asshole? Can you imagine how painful that would be? Holy crap. It's enough nicotine to satisfy the palate. In an effort to increase my chances at scoring an of-age girlfriend of my own, maybe I can do things like these videos to help improve gender relations. That's the thing of it. When I asked myself that question, why does dating suck so much? And then over the past couple of months after I asked myself that question, I noticed that a lot of people are struggling with it. And then the bigger question is, why do people gotta make it difficult? You complain about dating suck, but then you make it difficult for you and everyone else. That's the kicker of it. That right there is the true definition of stupidity. Doing something and then expecting a different outcome every time. I mean, really. And sometimes it's not intentional. Sometimes people just have shit luck with dating. That's just the sad truth of it. And having shit luck with the dating scene, I can certainly relate to that. You know, people people can still find you attractive. That doesn't change the dating scene for you in general. People can find you attractive, and you still have shit luck with the dating scene. That's just how it is. You think that if lots of people find you sexy, that, you know, it'll make the dating scene easier? Ha! Sad truth of it is, people out there who have an easy time getting laid are not the happiest, because it creates a lot of drama and bullshit in their life. People fight over them, people start drama over them. People spread rumors about them. All because they're trying to experience the dating scene like any other normal adult. And quite frankly, it's bullshit. That's just it. When I was walking back from my buddy's house after that standoff had settled down outside, and some asshole drove by in their pickup truck and shouted, "King Cobra needs some pussy." I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll do a video on that later. Right now, we gotta talk about some things. And if you think you're having a bad day, it could be worse. You're whining because you haven't had pussy in a long time. Half of that is perfectly natural. It's perfectly natural to be lonely and feel depressed because you're lonely. But the other half of that is the way society grooms us men. Now you look at George Floyd, for instance. It could be worse, dude. You know, you gotta realize that there are bigger issues facing the world other than, oh, you haven't gotten your dick wet. Boo fucking who. You know, being single's not so bad. Would you rather be single, or would you rather be in a relationship where your other half is abusive and too demanding and they treat you with disrespect? They don't love you. They just use you for your dick and your money, your pussy and your money, whatever. I mean, sure, being single can suck sometimes, but then when you see your friends fighting with their other half, you secretly laugh at them behind their back because you're like, sucks to be you guys, that's why I'm single. And of course, if you say shit like that, your friends will look at you and go, well, you're just jealous that I have someone and you don't. And then you're like, well, touche, yeah. Which brings me to the final point of this here video. Don't be jealous because someone else has a girlfriend and you don't. Having a girlfriend, having sex is a want, not a need. Although I was talking with one of my Scottish fans in the Discord last night, and he mentioned that over in this one country, I forget which one, but there are women out there who are paid sex workers for people with special needs. Like the government pays them and it's regulated and everything. It's in this one country. I forget what it is, which country it is. But they're basically there to like help people who otherwise can't form a relationship. They can't go out and talk to girls and, you know. And I'm like, well, that's kind of cool. They have that. Then you see people like Hunter Avalone bitching about that one guy who got the sex doll and then pretended to give birth to his kid with it. And the only reason he was creeped out by it is because the dude named his kid Hunter. Huh. And Hunter Avalone's going off about how weird it is. And to be fair, he does make a couple of good points. I mean, I did a video on that on my channel a couple of videos ago. You know, and my point exactly, if a dude wants to spend $3,000 on a sex doll and it makes him happy because he's older, he's tried dating, he hasn't had a real woman in 8 years, you know, who cares? I mean, the fact that he pretended to have a kid with it, and then he made his mom give birth to the sex doll's baby, that was... Yeah, that's a little weird even for me. I'm just like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I see where Hunter Avalon makes that point, but it's just like... But then he brought up a couple of other topics too, which, like I said, the word simp is not too far off from the word slut, am I right? How? You know, one of the things that Hunter Avalon said about the guy was, Jesus Christ, buddy, get a real woman. And my point being, Hunter Avalon, in all fairness, sometimes finding real companionship is kind of hard. And if you want a perfect example of men being put underneath too much pressure to start a family, you look at that story that Hunter Avalon did. Which is one thing that women and men have in common. Society puts way too much pressure on adults to get married and have kids. It's ridiculous. You know why teen pregnancy is not a problem in Europe? Because they tell it like it is. They're straightforward. They're like, hey, if you're going to fuck that person, wear a condom. And you won't get pregnant. And you'll lower your chances of catching STIs. But here in America, we have this thing called abstinence. We have this thing called abstinence-only safe sex education. And it's a crock of crap, if you ask me. Now, parents don't want to think about their kids bumping uglies with other kids. That's just how it is. But they were that age once. And you can't completely control your kid. That's the sad truth of it. You know, when they're out of eyesight, you don't know what the heck they're going to be doing. So you could tell your kid not to have sex or do drugs or experiment with alcohol, etc. Doesn't mean they're going to listen. They're at a party with some friends and someone says, hey man, want to smoke this joint? I don't know. Our gym teacher said that marijuana is a gateway drug and it could lead to harder drugs like crystal meth. Plus, the gym teacher said it takes away your motivation. Don't be a pussy. I'll do it if you do it. Well, sure, why not? They get stoned for the first time and they find out that cannabis isn't as bad for you as the goddamn DARE program made it out to be. And all of a sudden, kids are going, wait a minute. The adults lied to me about pot? What else have they lied to me about? And that right there, the lie about weed is the gateway drug, not the drug itself. Kids are thinking, well, hey, this pot ain't so bad. I wonder what else they've lied to me about. So they try something stronger and, ooh. The other half to that is some people have addictive personalities. They get sick of the buzz that weed gives you, so They try something stronger. That doesn't do it for them for too long. And then they try something stronger, and then conveniently, cannabis gets thrown underneath the bus as this gateway drug, man. The only thing marijuana is a gateway drug to are nacho cheese Doritos, Taco Bell, and Call of Duty Black Ops, and Mountain Dew. Marijuana is a gateway drug to good music. You could say marijuana is a gateway drug to Pink Floyd, but that's a cliche. That's a cliche, my dude. Oh, freaking stoners and their Pink Floyd. Oh my god. There's a time and a place for everything, kids, and it's called college. I thank you. Now, if you're in high school, worry about trying to make friends and get good grades. When you're in college and you're an adult, have fun on the weekends. If your homework's caught up, your grades are looking good, and your buddy calls you and says, hey man, want to grab some beer and go shoot some pool? I'm down. You see a couple of cute college babes that you go to class with across the room, and you're like thinking to yourself, yeah, I see those college babes over there. I want to go talk to them. Okay, if you want to pick up chicks at the bar, here's how you do it. Pickup lines can work, but half the time they get seen as sleazy and desperate, depending on the pickup line. Hey baby, do you work at Subway because you gave me a foot long in my pants? Whoosh. Well, if you want to hit on me and you want my number, I'll give it to you. After that smart comment, she probably threw her drink in your face and called you a pig. At that point, you're just like, well, drinks are on me, I guess. If you want to pick up chicks at the bar, buy them a drink. Walk up to the bartender and be like, yeah, you see that chick over there, and kind of casually point to her. Bartender says, oh, that chick over there. I'll use a goth chick as an example. Like, yeah, see that cute goth chick over there? Yeah, I'd like to buy her a drink. Whatever she wants, put it on my tab. Alright, cool. Bartender walks over to the girl when he can, says, that goth gentleman over there just ordered you a drink. What would you like? She orders her drink. You give her a cheers across the room, and then go back to your business. If she's interested, she'll come over and talk to you. Picture, if you will, put yourself in a woman's position. Some big, fat, hairy, drunk motherfucker who's big enough to kick her ass and wants to penetrate her with his dick comes up to her drunk as shit. Fucking sloppy, drunk, obnoxious. Hey, 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 hey baby, hey baby, hey baby, hey, hey, I think you're cute. Hey, 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 why won't you notice me? Hey, hey. Guys who get like that when they drink are obnoxious. And women hate that shit. It's the truth, YouTube. Hey fellas, you ever have a chick that's not your type hit on you at the bar and it makes you feel uncomfortable? Well, that's how like 98% of women feel when they have like that's pretty much exactly how women feel. I wouldn't say 98%. I'd say all women. That's how all women feel when some obnoxious asshole's hitting on them at the bar. But like I said, there are plenty. I mean, plenty of age girls here in town for me. Casper, Wyoming has a little bit over 51,000 plus people. There's 51,000 plus people here in town. That's a lot of people, you know. I woke up kind of early on a Saturday to make this video, but that's alright. That is quite alright, YouTube. Anyways, YouTube, thank you for watching my rant video. If you like this kind of content, subscribe for more. And I'll catch you cool cobras next time.